Welcome everyone. Thank you for joining our webinar today, Seamless Integration for EHR Governance with NetIQ. Today we're going to discuss Identity Forge Healthcare Suite, how we provide automated provisioning and reconciliation of compliance data with healthcare environments. IDMWorks. IDMWorks is a company made up of 3 distinct groups. DCMWorks handles data center migrations. Identity Forge, which we're going to discuss today, does integration platform software and custom development. And IDMWorks, the parent company, is made up of the Identity and Access Management Consulting Services and Managed Services. So let's begin. Why has identity management become important for healthcare? I'm going to sum that up in one word: regulations. More and more regulations are changing every day, and that has caused the need for governance and identity management with your healthcare organization. Also, the need has arisen for faster and more accurate user access rights, being able to provision with increased efficiency so that your administrators can work on other non-consuming tasks. Meaningful use. So meaningful use is what has come out from the government to improve quality, safety, efficiency, to engage patients to improve their health care. A lot of times it's through the healthcare organization's portal. Recently some guidelines have come out to allow more and more APIs to be accessed by these patients, and this is causing more and more APIs to be supported by vendors. Also, the Center for Medicaid, they create these standards for APIs, which these vendors, like Allscripts and Epic, have to continually certify with, and that means the identity management vendor has to continually certify with. So like I was saying, what does that do for the identity management vendor? So the identity management vendor, they want to focus on their core offering. That's what their clients expect from them. They would need to make their core offering of compliance and attestation and catalog management easy and more user-friendly for their client base. But can they keep up with the changing landscape of APIs all the time? More and more I've seen companies pick vendors that have more value and expertise in a certain area. Everything does not need to come from one vendor anymore, because that one vendor can't keep up. And also that one vendor most likely is partnered with other companies to provide that expertise that they don't have. So this slide here is what I want you to get out of the webinar today. So everybody should want to achieve reusability. So that's my conviction. I want you to take that as an action. So if you're part of an infrastructure team, an identity team, a healthcare team, your goal is always to make something more efficient and reusable. So now we're going to kind of go into our product suite. So we call the product the Forge Suite, and we're going to go over some of the simple demos here and talk about some of the things that we help with in the healthcare industry. So our healthcare suite. So our product is made up of 3 distinct protocols. This allows for seamless and simple integration, out-of-the-box integration with any identity management system. So we provide LDAP protocol. That means any system that has an LDAP adapter or an LDAP provisioning agent, you can use that seamlessly with our product. The other 2 protocols, SCIM. SCIM is a simple kind of JSON REST protocol. This is mostly used with companies like Ping Identity and ServiceNow, where they don't have LDAP integration out of the box, being that they're mostly cloud. This, again, allows those types of products to integrate with our system out of the box with no coding, just configuration, seamless. The last protocol that we have coming out this year is a way for us to be in a healthcare intermediary where we can take HL7 and MLP protocol from one EHR system that maybe is still sending HL7 out to newer systems that don't, or vice versa. So we'll be able to be that integration engine for healthcare, end to end. What this allows for with our suite is for simple deployments and faster time to value for your clients. It doesn't take weeks and weeks and weeks and a bunch of consultants to manage our product. The other great thing about our product is that you never lose your investment in our product. The reason we have these standard protocols and all these connected systems is that even when you're switching identity management vendors or you're adding on identity vendors, maybe you have NetIQ doing provisioning, but you have CyberArk doing password management, you don't have to have separate connectors to these target systems. You can just use the same one over and over again from our server. So here is an illustration of what our software looks like in a nice pictorial. So basically up at the top here, you can see these are all the standard type systems that would access our connector framework. So you can have generic LDAP clients if you want to do your own reporting. You have automation systems like ServiceNow, identity systems like NetIQ, and cloud vendors as well, like ServiceNow or Salesforce. All of those systems, because of our standard protocols, allow you to access all of our connected target systems. So they're going to go through LDAP and or SCIM and then soon HL7 and allow you to access data in any of these target systems that you see at the bottom here. Identity management systems we have connectors for, healthcare, obviously, mainframes, etc. So, NetIQ. So like I was saying in a few slides ago, we provide that seamless integration. So from NetIQ's perspective, all you're doing is setting up an LDAP driver that they already have out of the box. That means there's no extra work, no extra coding, no custom development, just standard out-of-the-box configuration. So you can see here in this picture, it's just a standard LDAP driver that you see down there at the bottom. And then when you configure that from NetIQ, you can see that you're just setting up standard LDAP information, the directory type, number of connections, authentication, the URL and the port, and then all the LDAP attributes that you would need to send to your healthcare target system. All that is configurable out of the box with their product. So I'm going to pause just briefly from the PowerPoint, and I'm going to go show a short little live demo just to show access to one of the healthcare systems, and then I'll come back to the slides. So what I'm going to show you here is our Forge IE integration engine that's connected to a system called Orion Health. We're using the FHIR interface for this. I will have a URL to show later where you can read about FHIR, but basically it's HL7's org newer HL7 interface that takes all of the good things out of HL7 and their other protocol APIs into one simple API with REST components. So the reason that's important is most of the healthcare organizations are moving towards that, including Epic, Cerner, and the likes. So what I'm going to show you is just a simple LDAP browser that's going to go connect to Orion Health and go get a list of their patients. And you can see how easy this is and how you can see how seamless the integration would be with the identity and access management system. So you can see I'm just doing straight LDAP. All the work is taken care of by us. I'm going to go out and search all the patients that happen to be in this Orion Health system. And you can see it brought back 10 or so users that are out there for us to demo today. And you can just see by clicking on a few of these some of the data that's coming back now from this new interface. So you can see that They have the patient information, the groups they're part of, if they're active or inactive, all the information you might want to see from a healthcare organization, their identifier, if they're a patient in your organization, etc. All that data will come back via just standard LDAP, so you can integrate and do full provisioning with your identity management system. So I'm just showing you a simple read here, but you can do create, updates, change passwords, deactivate them, delete them, all that kind of stuff through the identity and access management systems. And then one last thing I want to show related to our product before I move on to the other demo is the ease of which one server can manage multiple target systems. So once you have our software in-house and you want NetIQ or Identity Management System to provision to not just the healthcare organizations, but to maybe ServiceNow or Salesforce or Nonstop Tandem, all that is configured in one server, meaning you don't have to have multiple connector developments for all these connectors. You can have one connector framework. And that goes back to what I wanted you to get out of the webinar, is reusability. You should go back and have some reusable components for your connectors. There's no need to continue to keep rewriting for vendors all the time when you know that connected target system is going to be there. And then one last thing I want to show from a demo perspective, it's not a live demo, but it will be some screenshots. So what we have here is our Epic integration. The reason I don't have it live is because I'd have to be on the customer site. But you can see how we've done this with Epic is no different than what you just saw from FHIR and what we would do to our mainframe connectors, to ServiceNow. All of it works the same way for that seamless integration. So you can see here we're doing a simple create user that's going to create a user in Epic. And so we enter the RDN, Pete Doe, and we go on to see that that user gets created in Epic. So this was just an Epic user report after we did the create. And you can see that the user has a login ID, 273, that gets created in an inactive state. And all that stuff is handled behind the scenes, so it does not have to be done by you. So that's it for kind of the demo and a little background on our product. These last few slides are kind of just a summary of what our connectors are about and what we support. What I've highlighted here in blue is what the webinar is based on today. So what we have currently in production is HL7, the FHIR, which has 2 releases. The second release will shortly be certified by HL7.org to be the go-forward strategy. And then you saw the Orion and Epic Healthcare demos. And in the future, we have obviously over the right here, you see Cerner and some other Allscripts ones that are highlighted in blue. But the reason it's important with seeing Cerner over here is by time we get the Cerner stuff built, it's going to be used in FHIR as well. So Cerner allows you to do either FHIR or standard web service interfaces. The last important point there at the bottom, our server, we allow you to also build your own frameworks, to build your own connectors into the LDAP framework. Meaning if you had some custom app that could not be productized, but it's very important to your organization, maybe reading a file or updating some application that's eventually going away, you could actually incorporate that into our LDAP server, and that way that application then becomes another seamless integration point for identity and access management. So here's our available certified improved integrations. So you can see on the left we have some people that actually resell our product as theirs. That would be the OEM. And then the rest on the right are either our partners or certified solutions.